Hey, what's up, guys? TheNorthVeil here with another OU match. And, my match, I got a match here against, forget his name, actually. But I did beat it on the Smokin Battle Finder, and if I do get his name, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in the description. But if not, hey, you know what? I'll probably just... You know what? I don't even know. Anyways, my opponent's running kind of a standard rain team. Well, I'm over here running some kind of weirdish team that are actually based off my Terra, since it is a sub-Stories End set, and that I really wanted to use. But anyways, let's go see how our teams fare against each other. So anyways, my opponent's going to go ahead and lead off with Porygon Z, while I lead off with the Rotom. My mindset was that my run would be a good particular lead to for his whole team, except for Garchomp, but luckily he doesn't lead with that. And I'm going to go ahead and use Volt Switch, and I'm going to go ahead and nab a crit here, which is really unfortunate for my opponent, because as you can see, it's going to hinder him down really low. And anyways, my opponent's going to go for the agility to get his speed up. Not really sure what kind of set this thing is anymore, because usually these things are choiced or nasty plot. He goes for the discharge, doesn't get the fire hacks. I go for the body slam, I do get the fire hacks, which is really retarded because that means I get 2 turns of hacks in a row. Then I'm going to follow up with an Iron Head knowing it'll KO, and as you can see, I get another crit, which is a third turn of hacks for me. So, you know, I'm looking pretty good, but also kind of, you know, newbie since I'm getting hacked here and there. Anyways, right here I stay in, like a retard, thinking that he would overpredict, but no, he actually stays with me and gets a KO by Jirachi. That's when I decided to disconnect. LOL, I'm just kidding, guys. I decided to pull out my Landorus here and just go for the HP Gash, just let him know that I'm not playing around with his Garchomp. But actually decides to pull out his Fortress, which, kind of questionable, kind of not, because one Fortress does resist ice. That's not that's the not questionable part. Questionable because it breaks his sturdy, so, you know, it's kind of a, I guess, you know, half a dozen on one hand, 6 on the other, so that kind of thing. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and nab a KO with Earth Power there, so I'm looking pretty good right now. My opponent's just going to go onto his Politoed, as obviously I'm threatened out by Scald and Ice Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and just switch on to my Chansey, just to kind of see what what he wants to do, whether he just wants to go for the Scald or Ice Beam. But actually he predicts my switch, and it goes for the Perish Song. So this following turn here, I'm going to go ahead and predict either his status or his Scald, and just go onto my Rotom, because my Rotom can take on this thing very efficiently. And as you can see, Perish Song's turns are running really low. So instead of going for the Volt Switch, I actually decided going for the Hydro Pump, just because I knew that eventually he would, 1, have to switch out, or 2, stay in and take 2 Hydro Pumps in a row and then die to Perish Song. So either way, Hydro Pump would be the best option for me. And also he has his Garchomp on his team that he pulled out in front of my Rotom, and he just kind of sacks that to my Rotom. And, you know, I get another KO. So I'm looking at 5-3 strong right now. And then he goes on to his Jirachi, which this thing is very, very threatening, guys. As you guys are about to tell, this thing is very threatening. He goes for the Calm Mind, then follows it up by a Thunder, and as you can see, that does a mega ton to my Chansey, even though it's, you know, it just does a lot. And I'm not used to seeing damage on Chansey due to a special move, because I usually run special defensive Chansey, but, you know, enough of my, you know, personal life. As you can see, I'm just mindlessly throwing out Seismic Tosses because I'm not really sure what to do against this thing. I'm very threatened by it, and this thing is very scary. So this following turn here, I'm going to go ahead and decide to switch out to my Landorus. He actually goes for the Water Pulse, which I LOL'd because I was actually predicting him not to have Water Pulse since his 2 moves were Thunder and Psychic. So I was like, oh, he's running a pretty okay set. So, you know, he went for these Water Pulse, takes out my Landorus, and I'm looking pretty bad right now since I did lose my Landorus, and I'm looking 4-3. Anyways, right here, I knew my Rotom wouldn't KO, but I did need the damage on this thing because my initial plan now was to kind of just clean up the rest of his team with my Gyarados, because Waterfalls in the rain would be no joke against the Terrakion, Jirachi, and Politoed. So that's the initial plan. So anyways, my Gyarados just runs over this thing like a fucking truck. I think I'm going to change the nickname to like a truck now, actually. Now that I think about it. But anyways, my like a truck gets a KO right now, and I should have scouted this a lot better because he actually goes for the Rock Slide and outspeeds me, confirming to me and telling me that this thing is Scarfed because I am running a Jolly Scarfed Gyarados, which would obviously outspeed, you know, +0 Terrakion. So anyways, knowing that he is locked into a Rock Slide, I'm going to go onto my Terrakion and set up the sub here, because here's the initial plan now. The only way for me to truly win is for me to score an Oko on this Politoed with the Rock Gem boosted Stone Edge. But anyways, I'm praying to the gods of Olympus. I'm like, gods of Olympus, anyone up there, if you were up there, if there's any god up there, any god, just let me KO this thing. Let me KO this Politoed. And as you can see, his health bar is just going down, and I'm sitting here. This is how slow it's going for me, right? And I'm just sitting here, oh my god, please die, 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 please. But nope, he lives, and he goes for the Perish Song, which I was like, oh nope, I lost, because I'll explain to you my reasoning, because now, as you can see, he's going to try to go for a bit of a hacks reliance, but not really. Now, it's just... fuck. Okay, my second chance of winning was for me, or for him to miss protect this turn, but as you can see, he gets protect that turn, and that just tells me that he won the game, because now, regardless of what I do, I'm going to die at the end of this turn, and his Terrakion is going to be able to kill off my Chansey with a close combat. Or the initial plan can be, I'm going to switch out to this Chansey, which I actually go for, and he dies to the Perishong, and he can just close combat the rest of my team. So that is the game, you guys. I'm sorry if the narration was kind of boring for you guys, or kind of gay, but you know, I'm kind of socially awkward, and I don't have a lot of friends, so I guess that has something to do with it, you know, a bit about me. You know, Ricky doesn't have a lot of friends, so if you guys want to be my friend, just message me on YouTube. I'm just playing, guys. Anyways, so I was going to be able to finish off the rest of my team with this damn Terrakion, which I was really depressed about, because, you know, I wanted to win. Then again, who wants to lose? But you know what I've been thinking about lately is just, like, going on YouTube, or Smogon, or YouTube, whatever, you know, and just, like, sweep this guy, but, like, as I'm about to kill his last Pokemon, I disconnect. Just to make it look random and weird. Anyways, that's the game for you guys. Go ahead and like, comment, rate,